All right, we are live, setting up the screens here this morning. We're about 11 minutes to the open. Going to be watching, just getting the screens and all set up here today. Let's get our trading view going, coupled. Super chats, the did a little fresh restart of everything. We're going to take it off of paper trading, of course. Change this down here to see the broker's list. Tradeovate. No, we're going to use James right there. Fresh $50,000 account. See, we can't get this one going today. $3,000. 50% consistency rule. Other than that, it's no holds bar. Can't go below 48,000. And I think I got to give the dog a shot. So we're going to take one quick break. I'll be right back. Be right back, everybody. All right, we're back. Today's a beach day. So we got the full on beach here today. Let's see here. We're going to share this with Timmy Boy. Get Tim in the feed. 8 minutes to the open. I don't know how to make Tim a moderator, so we're going to have to figure that out, right? Going to have to figure out how to make Tim a moderator. Check 1 2 1 2. Let's pull up the microphone. Make sure we got a good mic. We do 5x5. We got the trade brigade on the back screen, still doing the morning wrap up. We have the Tradeovate over here on the side screen, just in case we get in trouble. We're going to be trading today from Trading View. And so we are good to go. Good to go, everybody. Oh, we just got disconnected. You see that? We just got disconnected. Good morning, Timmy. Doing the beach stuff today, buddy. Long sleeve shirts, the fishing. Going to go to the beach with my niece and nephew as soon as we get done with this. We're going to trade today. If we're only going to trade one account, I thought I would just do it directly through Trading View. Definitely going to switch to NinjaTrader. All this slippage and everything, I read all about it last night. I'm going to switch when I go to my own money, which I'm going to do that soon. Damn it, I want to get one consistent payout. Accept cookies, simulation, we're good over there. So let's see here. I think we're up and going. So yesterday, the fiasco was, I can't show you on the side screen because it will show my password stuff, but essentially, I set up two what's called scenes. You have scenes, and then you have sources in OBS. So the scene is like, this is my trading scene. This is my gaming scene. This is my racing reaction scene. So I set up all these scenes, and it's all new to me. So I got in there yesterday, and each one of those has a different key, and that key it ties it to like the visual package for your logos, the banner, you know, your saved, what the channel's about, the disclaimer, all that crap can be saved to each scene, and then YouTube only knows, okay, that key wants to use this set of headline, description, all that stuff. Well, I didn't realize it was on the gaming scene. I didn't even notice that little bitty box. And so I had to scramble at the last minute to change everything. So I was doing that literally 1 minute before we even started trading. I was disemboggled yesterday for sure. Now I got it figured out like a champ, and I practiced last night. And so, and I also refined all of them. So we'll see. We'll see. And I'm going to get it better. Should have the disclaimer in there and a whole bit, some tags. Got the connection all streamlined with ultra low latency. One of the things on that was if you give the viewer the ability to rewind during the feed, that does hurt the latency. And for sure, I've got to call the low volt guy out here and get this hardwired. Even though I got it all streamlined, I got a hardwired receptacle right here below this desk, but it's not hooked to anything on the other side of the house, because whenever these people who had it before us, or when it was built with a satellite dish, and it's still outside. And but then it was switched to fiber, and they never just hooked up the wire. So I got to do some reductive reasoning on that crap. A little pullback yesterday. I don't know if you watched the Trade Brigade's overview this morning, but still probably could still stand and do a little pullback. That 22,850 area would be a great area for support. Look at that chop overnight. 4 minutes. Turn that down. Turn that down. Let's get this over here. Got that all up and going. We don't need these guys up. We got some news. All right, here we go. Let's get the volume going. Make sure we're live. All right. Heat maps going. Trading views going. What else do we want up here today? Want Rocket Scooter, preempting trading view. Login has expired. All right, well, let's redo Rocket Scooter's login. 3 minutes to go. Got a house full of people, niece and nephew here. A lot of voices behind me. I have to turn that down or close the door on them. Okay. Check 1, 2. Check 1. I'm trying to get this volume to where my human indicators are not stepping on my feed here. See what this thing does at the open. 2 minutes and 20 seconds is what I got. Excuse me 1 second. We'll close this door. Total side note. Got some feedback from the manufacturers to make my my brain pills. It's going to be easy to do that. Make my own white label. Take my brain pills, lose weight, make a lot of money. TQQQs. Yes, on the pullback. I agree with that. I agree with that. I am too. I got my live account with Robinhood pulled up on the side over here so we could watch that stuff. Yep. Agreed. Total agree. Total agree. Total agree on the VIX. So I had some little market stuff here. If Elon would just get out of the way, they would just quit fighting. TSLL would be a nice tradable one, but I am not going to touch it for a while. That little trade negated half of what I'd made on between the stock and the options since January. I've only dabbled in it with 10% of what I trade in that account because it is volatile. But boy, screwed the pooch on that deal for us. Not on the stocks. I wish I would have bought just stocks, but didn't want to put that much in it doing just that, the kind of play we did. And that's okay. Going to find something else and I'll roulette it. We'll double up, go twice as much. Here we go. The ding ding. Ding ding ding. Opening bell, everybody. Always suggest being patient. Wait for our. Says no data here. What's the deal? I have logged in. It says I have data. Cannot log out again. All right. Let's log out again. Log back in again. This does not seem right. Rocket Scooter's having a problem here, it looks like. Nothing. All right. I don't have time to mess around with this. Let's just keep an eye on this opening print. I'm just going to leave it on the 5-minute a little bit. Not inclined to do anything. Bottom of this channel. Touch VWAP there. I like that. I'm okay with this little run we had here. These little runs here. If we do continue this little wave, should be able to find a couple of quick trades. See down here at the bottom, we got the trading view hooked up. Got 50,000 in there. Let's see our trades down here as we start to do our trades. Now let's wait, see if we can't get some kind of opening range breakout going. And what is wrong with Marketplace? Well, I did log in. Now let's see if it's going to come on in. There we go. All right, but now let me go to my save charts, load layouts, JD June. I need to make a JD July. I'm going to be the same, but it'd be something different. We're up there at, where are we at? Right there above half gap. All right, where we go. I'm going to wait. If we take off here, liquidity, we've got, look at that. The DD is 94. We've got positive res on S&P, negative res on NASDAQ. So just mixed bag, all the reason just to sit here for a second. 5-minute candles breaking the VWAP. Let's watch our, let's take a peek real quick at our old trusty heat map, the Geiger counter. Tim, the Geiger counter. 6 million selling, 4 million advancing. So we do have a little downward pressure right here at the open. Not worth doing anything yet. Let's put a like on Alex's feed. I got to tell you, trying to live stream and talk about this nonstop and trade is challenging. I think it's going to make me better, but it is challenging. It would be like nonstop calling out your lap while you're listening to people. I know my Formula One drivers say, like Lewis all the time, mate, shut up. I'm trying to race out here. I get it. I do get it. TSLA ripping. Yeah, I know. I figured it would because I sold mine. Got 44 cents. I took a little bath on those. Let's take a peek. Up 3%. Had to have a bounce. Waited all day for the RSI to get out. Work on that accent, right? You're right. I had to think about it in my mindset. I actually have a pretty good one. I just had to put myself back into my acting days. Back into my acting days. So 3%. That's because Tesla popped a few bucks. Tesla popped a few bucks. If you look at the correlation there, I'm highlighting on the right, 2x. So up 2x, 1.7, 3.4. That's why I like it, because if you catch it on normal dips, like normal swings of your regular oscillators with no news, You can buy it at the bottom of a channel, whichever one you want to pick, RSI on an hourly or whatever. And it is, the waves have been doing that. And then you can make a quick buck on it all the time, all the time. I literally, most of the, when I went down to, when I took my last 5,000 out of my Robinhood and got back to 9,400, most of that was TSLL stocks. Some was options, but most of it was stock. So yeah, so I didn't embrace all that because I did that since January. All right, let's see. Might be a long play right here coming up. What plays does he have teed up today? The BLU, and that's it. Looking for the BLU bounce. Selling right now. I'm not ready to buy that particular play just yet. Here we go. All right, so we got our first one in, the first 5-minute candle, which you could play this. That's one of the boxes just appeared. It looks like we're about 943, 898. So 43.98. You add to it, that's a 45 point opening 5-minute candle. Hopefully that's will be our 15-minute, but I doubt it the way things have been going. The VIX is down there, 17, 16. Might get lucky, but let's see. Let's see what we do here. Let's see what we do. We're going to pull up our trade panel, set our charts a little bit more, do a chart reset. We're going to put our ASHI, not a clean sell-off. ASHI on 1 minute. We're going to switch to 1 minute on our main chart. Now we're going to start peeking here. Let's try not to get analysis paralysis today, not to overthink this thing. Not to overthink this thing, not to overtalk it. The bear flag right now, though. So let's just wait for it. Let's wait for this. See if we're going to get this opening 5-minute candle range breakdown. I'd be inclined to scalp that. A lot of people will not touch any of this stuff, but we certainly could pull back, go up on some bigger time frames here. We've got plenty of room to come back and take out these lows before we rally today. We're right in the middle of a 15-minute channel. We broke the VWAP, so we certainly could go ahead and stair step down to the bottom of this regression. Certainly could. It's held up right through the overnight there. Lows being 779, more resistance, support at 808, 807 area. A lot of people call it 850 as a load them up right there. That's where people are calling. And I'll go ahead and mark a line there and we'll all watch it together this morning. Going to stream for about an hour and then I'm headed to the 30A Santa Rosa Beach. I think we're going to go to, probably to Edwaline. See how crowded it is. Shouldn't be that bad. They're already loading up. So I'll get there and it'll already be set up. I get to use excuse of I'm trading this morning. All right. Go watch that red line. Volume just went to nothing. Under around 2 million. 2 million on the volume. On the 1 minute candles, let's see what we got. Still a little sideways. Ugly 15-minute candle. And I got a dog that wants to enter. Let's get Cronus' Snout. Come on, Mike. All right, Cronus is in the house. Cronus is in the house, in his bed already. All right, 15 minutes still. Still got that wick here. Let's see if we can't get that 15-minute range. Back to the 1 minutes. That's the wick right there. I think that's going to probably establish that opening range. Should be that wick on that 5, wasn't it? No, we did actually made another wick after the 5. So let's see. I'm liking this doji here on a 1 minute. Getting a green doji. Trailing up volume. Oop, got a red spike on volume there. So that don't look good. Here we go, down again. Down again. Down again. Down again, everybody. See if we're going to break the bottom range. We're going to do just 2 contracts today, setting it up. All right, the bottom of that range is held. Okay, let's see what we're going to do. We're waiting for some volume here, getting a little selling pressure. Little selling pressure. Might have missed a good entry right in there for a short. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. A lot of people talking about a bounce. There's your break. We still hadn't put in the 15-minute candle, so let's just do this, everybody. Om, om, and fold your hands like this. And let's just go ahead and wait for the 15. Although, let me just show you, if you're a 5-minute opening range breakout, there was the breakout of the 5-minute right there, and it is still breaking out. Now, the reason the shadowed box is still forming is because it's going to stop at the 15-minute, which is more powerful. But some people would have shorted it at the breakout of the 5. And so here we come back. Have some support there. We had some support there. I'm waiting till all indicators tell me so. Right now, ASHI is still saying we're selling and it's indecisive. Volume is still saying it's indecisive, although we're trickling down. The colors give the power of it. The length of these bars tell me which direction is trending. So yes, we're trending toward green, but I want it to be significantly smaller. And then I want to see some green doji in here. And then I want to come over and confirm that we got some candle patterns. And then I'd like to see the moving averages turning. And I would really like to be above the VWAP, because how many times, Tim, how many times do we see the VWAP rejection? We see it a lot, and it's a known play for a quick short scalp. Look at that volume, though. The volume significantly made a difference. Look at the red ASHI candle. We might have some momentum here. Let's go ahead and take a little trade. Let's don't be scared. We're in a trade right there. We are going to see if we can't get some momentum. I'm only taking 2 contracts. I plan on being here. That was with momentum. It's already going against me. I was late, but I took it at the break and the close of that candle above my 10 EMA. Usually that works. So now let's see. Let's see if we get continuation. Lots of things. RSI coming off the bottom. The moving average is crossed. We're at the bottom regression line. The only thing I worried about was what I called was that VWAP. Not going to close it early. Going to wait this out. See what we got here. If we got a little recovery from the bottom, I'm going to put my stop loss at the bottom of this channel. It'll be what that it is. You always put your stops in. We're going to sell to right there as a stop loss right there. And so that's just what we're going to do. We took a small amount, so we can afford to take that little bit of a loss there. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So what do we got here? Let's just watch it right here on the heat map. Here we go. We got a little run up. Come on, baby. Come to Papa. Come to Papa, Mama. Let's see how far we can get. We need to get through that ATR line right here on the heat map. This pink line. Get past that. And then we can get some good momentum going here. There we go. Let's get it on up there. Let's go ahead and get it. What I'd like to do is get it on up above the VWAP and get some momentum. And then after we do that, let's move our stop up a little bit. Might consider adding. Let's just see what happens. Showed a $70 winner. Just since we got a brand new account, we got some room on our drawdown. This is a nice setup. We're just now getting everything coming off the bottom. Just to give you the setup, we got 3 nice candles on ASHI to our direction. I didn't get a good feel, y'all. I did buy at the market, and I think I bought right at the VWAP. That's why I'm underwater. And so, and the VWAP might reject me. So I might move my stop up at this point. It'd probably be prudent to put my stop at the back of this previous candle. If it takes that out, it didn't work. And look at that, just like that. Wow, look at that rejection candle. The VWAP is going to crush me right out the box, it looks like. That's the way it goes. First your money, second your close. But everything looks good. Volume's looking good on the histogram. The ASHI did put in a bottom tail. I hate that. And the RSI flattened. And let's just see. Let's just see what we got. We got enough room, intraday room for sure. Just need these. We need this. We need to take out that VWAP. Get past the midway on this channel. So we need some. We need some volume here. Get this trade going. Get this trade going, people. I love the VWAP. You're right, Tim. That's exactly right. That's the most powerful thing over liquidity, over everything. That's why if you look at Rocket Scooter, I'm the only guy that puts it on there. On a Rocket Scooter, oh, I didn't mean to do that. On a Rocket Scooter, look at what I do. Matt thinks I'm crazy, or he actually says that actually could work. I just don't have to use it, Jim. I just trust the liquidity. But if you look, I use the ASHI candles but then I use VWAP. Like if the VWAP's below the half gap, and you wait till you get on top of both, you usually do get that rocket move. So I think I'm more trading these days, this last 2 days anyway, for this camera than I am for how I would normally do it. I actually called it and said, Tim, how many times did the VWAP retract? So I might just, look at that. Almost got my stop loss right there twice. It got to my stop loss once, twice, 3 times. 3 times to my stop loss and did not ping me. Not yet. Come on, buyers. Let's boogity, 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 boogity. Seller's going to take us out. I can just feel it. Come on. I'm not moving it. I want y'all to be diligent. I'm going to flatten this rascal for a little profit if she'll ding me up there. Let's go ahead and put in a sell order, and let's put it in sell limit at the top of that wick. And now we're just going to let it play out. Whatever it does, it does. Whatever she does, she does. We got a stop loss in. I have a feeling, because it does it so many times, y'all, Timmy, that the VWAP is going to be major resistance unless we could push through it. And it seems like it could push it at low through the VWAP. The son of a gun will go pow right through it going low, but not going higher. We're in this channel. I'm moving this down a tad. I don't want to be a stop run. I got a little room. I'm going to move it right there. If it breaks that, then that would be a flat bottom breakout. We're literally in one of my favorite trades. And am I in it the right way or the wrong way? Am I in it early to the long, or am I in it way late for a short? It's definitely developing that. But here's a big concern, y'all. The top of this is at VWAP, and that's so hard to get through on these 1 minutes. We might switch to a different time frame and be fine. And then I'm trading in the middle of the range. Look at this. I'm in the middle of the range, basically, on the regression. I'm in the middle of the range on the 15-minute opening. That is it right there. So let's just see what happens. Oh, that did not look good. We're about to get stopped out. It's over. Here we go. Look at the moving averages turned against us. RSI is going against us on the numbers just slightly. And with these rules, if it was your own money, you might have set your stop below this whole box and be okay. But you got prop house rules, you got to be able to trade another trade here. I might just do that to show you what I mean. Technically, the opening range, your stop should be at the bottom of the opening range. And I should have taken a lot. That would have been maybe taking just one, or maybe taking 3 mini micros. Live and learn. Look at this. Choppy now on all respects. We didn't get the continuation. Definitely got smacked down on this VWAP. That's going to be the title of this video. The VWAP smacked down in the first 15 minutes. Look at the ASHI candles has turned against us. Everything is against us right now, boys. Everything. So let's just see what happens. Might be a one and done trade today, but I purposely went down to 2. Because yesterday what happened was I continued to trade 5. I wasn't paying attention that I just didn't have enough drawdown. I should have went to 1 and clawed my way back until I got my drawdown back. Again, this is all trading prop accounts. You don't have to worry about this if you got 25,000 in there and you got clear rules that you've learned from trading prop accounts. This wouldn't matter that much. But you might not be going up against VWAP. You might wait for it to accelerate through VWAP, and then wait for a little pullback and test VWAP, and then kapow, you find yourself an entry. We left about $75 on the table because I want to try to get a continuation play today on the ASHI. And we're due here. We're due here. Let's just see what the buyers want to do. That's all we can do. That's a good print right there. That's the first print of opening above the 5, 10, and 21 period moving average. Picked up a point on your RSI. Look at your volume on the histogram, pretty stellar. So let's just see. Literally, we're battling this damn VWAP to get out of this trade. Battling and battling and battling. If I trusted this anymore, if we were consolidating on top of VWAP and let's say that it was coming down and touching VWAP like this, and that flat bottom was at the bottom of VWAP, I would be absolutely adding. And if I was in a short here and we've had 5 touches up to VWAP, I'd be adding on my short each time it got up there and touched it. It's just a value to do that. Just a value to do that. What's going on in the market? Let's just do that real quick. Tesla's up 1%. It's actually a mixed bag, but nothing's taken a terrible hit. PLTR is the biggest down on Mag 7, 1%. That's not bad. Come on, let's get another VWAP touch. I'm getting worried, boys. The VWAP touch, I'm getting worried. I could cut my losses right now at $150. But let's stay in it for the sake of the video. People got to learn how to do it. $60 loser. We got no volume right now. Let's check our heat map. Heat map, just very low. A little bit more advancers than decliners. What we need right now is take out that little pocket of liquidity right here. That'll give us a couple of $100 pop. And then we can take a little commish, and we'll fight another day. Rejected. How many times the VWAP is held? See that? So you could definitely trade in this range. You could short here, long here. We already got a sell in. I think I got an opportunistic sell point in. Here comes some volume. Which way is she? Here comes your sales volume. Massive sales volume coming in. Massive sales volume. There you go. Trigger the stop loss. Stop loss has been triggered. We're selling. That's a classic flat bottom breakdown. We did not exceed the VWAP on the wrong side of this trade, people. And let's be full transparency. That trade, there you go. That trade lost. Oh, it doesn't show it on this screen, but you can surmise it right there. 49,280. Started with 50 grand. All right. So 720, one trade. Poof, 2 contracts. And look, right back to the range. So that was a stop run. You just seen one. We've had a VWAP rejection and a stop run in one 10-minute trade. Been in a trade about less than 10 minutes, few candles. And now look, how brutal is that, Tim? Look at that. Look at that. Flat top. Nice hammer. Stop run for everybody that was doing a flat bottom breakout, and look, the breakout of the VWAP right in front of you. It run on me. And so I'm going to, I got to close this other order out. You guys see that? That order was in there in case it broke out as my take profit, because when you're doing this here through Tradevik, you can't just put the TP in there. And so I could still be in that trade except for that stop run right there. So it basically, whoever wanted to do it, they knew that this was a bunch of people assuming they might get a short going here, and it ran it. And that also flushed out everyone that was long from this range. So what we do, I'm going to go to 4 contracts, and we're going to wait until we get some momentum, and we're going to try to find us another entry. It's going the direction we want to go. Let's wait for a pullback here. Wait for a pullback. Let's wait for a pullback. Still ain't convincing that VWAP is taken out. See, that's a little fakey as well. That's a little fakey as well. VWAP, very powerful. This right here was total BS, everybody. That is what will drive you crazy doing this trading. Total BS, that candle right there. Stopped me out, had a reasonable stop. I put it outside of the bottom of these candles. And look, we still hadn't closed above VWAP. We do have some momentum. Let's just see what happens. Putting in another candle over here on the ASHI. 3 green candles in our momentum, certainly coming off RSI. Everything we talked about is good. So we're going to go ahead and take a position. Y'all have fun to the beach. I'll be there shortly. That's okay. Just take him out there. It's no problem. Let's see what this one is. We're going to let this one ride a little bit. I'm not going to be so quick on where my stop needs to be. I'm going to just watch the charts. We're going to try to claw back that loss in this account here. Yesterday did not go very well. Weird, very weird. Not a normal day. This one is not looking too good either. It's unbelievable what this VWAP is doing. Unbelievable. I might just blow this account. I'm not going to get out of it. You guys get to watch it in real time. If it triggers itself, it's because I hit the max soft loss. And then I'm going to be done. I'm going to the beach if it does. You got to walk away. There's a hammer. See, some people will have their stops down there and out right now. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to risk the entire account because I'm not going to let the BS get to me today. I'd rather just risk it. Look at that. Another one of those crazy candles to try to get people to trick you out of it. Bloodsuckers, people. Bloodsuckers. Got to have some nerves. All right. It's good momentum over here. 4 to 2. Let's get a good pop here and get past this level. People can move their stops up. Daddy needs some milk money, people. Need some milk money. Let's go. Still hadn't had a wick-free break of the VWAP. Still haven't had a break of the VWAP on the ASHI. Over here. Looking good. More volume coming in, but still ain't been that break for continuation that you want to see. Want to see that break for continuation. Let's go. Let's get more than a little bit of money made there. And if you guys have been watching this, Tim, you've been watching it, and people that watch the video, if you watch, I've had many opportunities to take out 100, 120, 70. By all means, you could do that. But for the sake of the video, and since we're trading cheap prop accounts, I just want to show people that you got to stay in. I want to catch a runner, and I want to film it, catching a runner. And so you can see the emotions you got to go through. And also for my own self, I want a micro scalp, and that's how I would do it if this was real cash in there. Or was all my own money. But to pass these prop firms, you got to make $3,000 in short order, and then you can start putting money in there and trading in a different way. So let's just see. Crazy. We're still putting in higher lows. Let's see if this is a lower low. Here's your low, higher low. Let's just see that. No, now that's a break of structure, BOS. There you go. That's how easy it is to do it. There's another headline for this video. That is a soft breach intraday of a $50,000 account. There it is. That might be a hard breach. Yeah, that might be a hard breach. So there it is. That basically cost me $100, $95 today to trade. And she's done. It's time to go to the beach. I'm going to stay here for a second. We'll switch over to paper trading. 2 terrible, terrible days. Terrible, terrible days. Terrible, terrible days. So the way you do that, though, is you come over here and you go to, instead of your, that was take profit account. So you go in here and you go to see brokers, and you simply just click on paper trading. Paper trading, we started this yesterday. We made $900 in our paper account. Come back over here, reset it, and let's finish out the hour. That's crazy that we couldn't get any of these things worked. Just a fake out twice. Faked out twice. The VWAP, very powerful today. Basically, that was a small overshoot. Tried another long there for a small overshoot. Hadn't shorted yet. The only thing really could have worked today would have been this short at the opening bell, and then this short that's setting up right now. This is a great trade right here. So that break of structure that just stopped me out would have been a great trade, you know, very short time frame. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, you know when Matt stops talking, that means everybody over at Rocket Scooter not happy. If you look at Rocket Scooter on my screen here, they, to me, I love everything they do, and I watch it, and it's powerful. The run was from the bottom of the DD band, you know, past hedge half gap, and then it chopped up and it broke down. It's breaking down all the way back. I'm sure it's going to break down to the bottom of this DD band, which is this box. Let me reset the chart. So just missed it talking about it. At the breakdown of the MAs, I should have taken that short. Can't FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. You can't change anything you do because you had a couple of bad beats. Can't change anything you do because you've had 2 losing days with your prop accounts. Just can't. That's not how you can trade. You can't let emotions get into it. Got to think about all your winning days. All right, let's see here if the bottom of the regression channel is going to hold. If it is, we're going to take us a trade. I always like to end with a green paper trade win on days that I either have a soft or a hard account breach. I never add back. I never do a reset in that day. Not doing any of that. I never go to the other accounts and trade them. I just keep the momentum. See what I mean? If you would have, man, it's going to go down forever, you would have just lost your whole account right there. And so you can't chase stuff. If you was ready and you would have caught this at that break of structure for a couple of accounts or 3, 4 micros, then you would have been fine to do a little scalping right in there. But now is not the time. I actually like scalping the down burst more than I do upburst. Upburst is so slow, and then every once in a while has one of these. Remember, this is the candle right here that got us. I'm gonna take a picture of that. I'll put that on Twitter. Right there. That's the candle that got us right there. That bad boy. Mofo, right? Let's see here. There it is right there. The stop loss is literally right there. We will stick that rascal. Stick that rascal over on X. Put it on X. It's what they say you do. What's happening? There we go. And then hashtag day trading loss. Post. That's how you post something on your social media real quick. Got a nice sell button right there. It's rare that this modified Lux algo gives a sell signal, and it gave it here. Now it's thinking that's going to be long term. So it's thinking this is a bear flag that's forming. So it could be, it very well could be, you know, we could be in one of these things here, you know, in like a pennant. Let's wait and see how that turns out. Let's see if that manifests itself. I don't like taking these. Pat Whelan takes a lot of these. He loves bear flag and bull flags, and they work. They work. They don't work all the time, but they work. He makes a lot of money doing them. He likes a bear flag and a bull flag to form after the 15-minute candle breakout. This is where I'm using this 15-minute range from. And we're basically breaking down from 15-minute range. We will sell some if we get a breakdown here with volume. So if we get some volume, here it comes right now as we're talking about it. I'm going to go ahead and take a position right there, and then we're going to get out for a quick scalp here. All right. So there was a quick scalp for just a little $1,000 profit. All I really did, one is don't let that be fooled. That's what 100 contracts, no one's going to do that. That was a pullback into its own candle, right? Pull back into its own candle, and then just a little pop and flatten the position. You can do that with just one contract if you wanted to, and one micro if you wanted to for $5. And so that's all that was. Let's just see how this works itself out. That was just playing, that was gambling. But we're developing a flat top, not so much a flat bottom. So what you got going on here right now looks like this. Kind of looks like that. Everybody call that out in the chat if you know what that is. If you know what that is, let's just see. It's a higher. A few minutes ago, we had the higher lows, and then the fourth candle, kaboom. Remember right here, here was what we thought would be the low. This is the candle here that crushed my count. Flat bottom breakout, but then complete recovery the other way to a wick above VWAP. So this is just called chop. If I wasn't filming this, I know I probably wouldn't be trading this. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a little different. But I'm having fun. We got to make some content. I think people just like to boo as much as they like to cheer, right? So anyway, this is, that was what wicked us out, but that looked from here, that set up in, a higher low, a higher low, higher low. This one came down, but then another higher low. So you can start drawing your lines within a break of structure. Kaboom, right to where we are. Here it goes. There it goes. Let's see how much continuation it may have. Will the bottom of the linear regression channel hold? The body is held except the wick. Let's see. Let's see here. There it goes. You draw it on the charts and it does it. If you draw it on the chart, it does it. Pretty interesting, right? I know what you're thinking. How do you know all that stuff? Well, don't know anything. Look at that print. That's a beautiful print right there for the shorts. But watch, I bet you we get a reversal big stick candle like we got back here. Where was it? Similar to this one as well. Now let's see if these lows here are going to create resistance. Lost the VWAP, so that's what we were flirting with in the beginning was VWAP. VWAP holding, nothing could take out, no, the buyers could not take out the VWAP. Finally, it got exhausted. Look at all these attempts. Look at all these attempts. VWAP, 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 VWAP. You basically could just have the VWAP on the chart. And some people just trade like that. They just trade with the VWAP. And if it doesn't have continuation with volume above the VWAP, then they don't take a trade and then they look for shorts. You could have literally, this break of structure, put a couple of contracts on and made your month right there. Made your month right there. Especially if you was in your live account. Live account means your personal money. You're over at AMP or Interactive Traders or wherever you got your cash, OLA, stashed. Or, for these NQs, cost you $500 a contract, and then you use your margin for the difference. And you put on 2 contracts, cost you $1,000. Got to have reserve cash in there for your drawdown. So if you're in one, it costs $1,000 you put up, and then you're if you want to go as much as $2,000, $3,000 and draw down during the trade, you got to have that much in your own cash sitting there. I don't know what's going. Alex has some kind of weird girl voice on there today talking. So that's the only thing I got up there. There's Pat right there. Another day in paradise. Pat is with us on Twitter. He is over there. He's playing a Kodiak Black song. He's fishing in Hawaii with Lando's kid. Get that out of here. Focus on our trading. Take these indicators off. That one worked. Broke down from those higher lows. Nice little breakdown. I did not take it. Did that little scalp on the first breakdown. Prop Pals consistency rules make it real difficult too. That's why I like doing them and trying to pass them and passing them is because they're real tough, but boy, it makes you just that much more keen. It's like, I call it like, being a race car driver, now a racing coach. Lots of sellers. That's right, Tim. I like it because it's like turning laps. It's like getting out there on a used set of tires, not your good racing fuel, right? and you haven't done an alignment and no setup, it's kind of like how you raced it the last time with those old crappy tires, and you're just turning laps. And so you got to really be keen on your technique and your footwork and things like that. Trading prop accounts with those consistency rules, all the rules. That's kind of how that is. And then when you just kind of like, you get to where you can really drive the car. And then when you throw your own money at it, and what you see on the screen minus commish is your money up or down. It's kind of like putting new tires on the car and putting your race gas in there, and having the engineer do a proper setup and alignment and all of that. But then you add a bunch of other guys around you, and you got to go race. And so that's kind of what I equate it to. And but to me, that is a little bit easier, because I just, it is a lot easier. It's a lot easier because you could set your stops in places like right here. If this breaks out one way or the other, I'll just do a traditional play like this is cash and not prop firm money. And this is, again, trading on small time frames. We may not like this at all if we look at a 15-minute. You know, in a 15-minute, there really is no trade. We've broken down from the opening range. We're putting in a doji. And so that is a reversal candle on 15 minutes. Where is it going to end up? We don't know. On this 15-minute candle, we still got 5 more minutes. So if it stays about where it is right now, that is positive for a reversal. And maybe the bottom of this would be, and that's near the bottom of this regression channel, would be the reversal candle. And then we could take a longer ride back up to the center of the channel, which would be a nice little run. Certainly on the 1 minute, the 15-minute, the 1 minute on ASHI, getting a doji and a reversal. What about the 3? Let's wait for the 3 to turn, 2 to turn. 2 is turning. So let's go back to the 1 and get an entry here. All right, there's your flat bottom breakout. Let's go ahead and take some at market. We're going to take some at market, and we're going, since we're on paper now, we can do it this way. We're going to do our stop loss below this range. No, it's big, but we're betting big numbers. We're going to do a take profit right at the top of that range. So there you are. We'll just sit here and let it go. It's not quite 1-to-1 risk reward, but let's see if we can't get a run. We are getting a reversal. It's going to work or it ain't going to work. Just took a stab at it, and it's selling off right to our stop loss. Now, if it hits that stop, that means it's breaking the lows of the session. Stop loss below the lows of the session. Those in the know understand that that's where people will put their stop losses. We will take some of this off. Let's see if we can't get some green going, and we'll take about 50 of it off. I'll show you how to do that in real time. You just change your numbers over here and your DOM, and then you just hit the button when you get some green going. Look at that candle open at the bottom of previous. Let's at least get up to our entry, boys. Had a push candle. I didn't like that wick on that candle there. It's happened like 5 times today. Here we come. Showed about 1,500 there in profit, bouncing around. 3,000, 1,500. Let's let her go. 3,500. Let's queue up a 50 to take off 50. Feels like we might get a run on this one, everybody. Yeah, volume sucks. Back down around 2 million. We're just going to probably sideways here for a second. I hope this ain't a wave up, drop, wave up, drop, wave up, drop. So I'm inclined to get out of the way. Looks like since the open, if it doesn't take a rocket science to see what direction we're going, I've been in the way with it at every juncture. In the way of it at every juncture. Just had probably, I don't know, I didn't think I had a bias in my brain today, but maybe I did. Everything, you know, it can sell and keep selling. That's what they say, right? Let's just see what we got. Not going to DCA. I could DCA right now with this big of an account. Dollar cost average. Could start averaging in here below my entry point, but I'm going to just see what happens. Love that ASHI candle over there. Even though we got a top tail on it. I mean, a little bottom wick. Let's see if we can't get some momentum over there. Just no volume right now. Way down there, 1.5. Time for a little sip of magic coffee. This magic coffee, it gets cold, makes the market go your direction. It doesn't make it go up or down. It goes your direction. I don't like this tug of war. Certainly got more sellers stacked up out there. Here comes the sellers. We are going to flatten this when we get into green. There's no reason to kill a paper account just for the sake of argument. But the ASHI's in our favor, everybody. ASHI's in our favor, everybody. Here we come. It's going. I'm going to sell at the market 50 of them right there. I'll move this stop up to about right in there. Took a little bit out right there. Let's just let it go until the ASHI tells us, or until we hit our TP. Hopefully we can get our take profit here. I mean, our stop loss here where everything's green. Right now, there's nothing wrong with taking some profit. If you was on a normal deal, you'd have $100 right there made. So that was 22.50, up about $4,000 there. Practicing a little patience and showing you the mechanics of the system. That's all we can do now. We've already I think we hard hit our daily on our take profit trader 50K account. I don't like this one at all. I'm gonna flatten this for some profit. It's just taking too long. All right, y'all saw in real time, hit the flat button. It took 3 seconds to get out of that trade. 3 seconds. And so 527.50 right there on that trade. Whipped us around major. It's still going in the direction off the bottom of that linear regression line, but look at the whipping of those tails. Just shouldn't be trading in this. My advice, anybody that might watch this at a later date, don't trade this. Just don't trade this. The VWAP is a magnet. It should go back to VWAP until it doesn't. But generally speaking, percentage-wise, it'll pull back. And as we've seen from the earlier, though, it's a very, very strong. It's a magnet, pulls the action to it, but it's also resistance. I do like that we're getting above the moving averages. We could have stayed in that. Now it's going to rip. That's what happens. Here's your ASHI candles over here on the 1 minute. Excuse me, I got it on the 2. Let's see what it is on the 1. Looking good on the 1. See all these bottom tails? That's what's indicator of all of these tails here too. That it's just sloppy. But there she goes. Would have been a lot of money. We had put our target right there. So let's see if it would have hit the target. Our market, our target for that 1-to-1 would have been right there. So let's, for giggles, let's see if it gets to it. Still pulled out 27.50. Sold into it for the first lot, sold into it again for the second lot after riding it down quite a bit. Even though the trade, look at this trade now, even though it did this, didn't hit the button, Jim. Even though it was trending this way, it's the wicks that get you. That's the chop. It's the wicks. Had an entry somewhere in here. This wick went down 30-something thousand negative, although it's trending up. That's still hard to see if it was your own money. Think about how hard that would be to see. You would be hitting the sell button, and that's how people give money to the market. They can't see that, and they give money to the market, even though the trend is clear, choppy upward trend, albeit on just a 1 minute scale. Let's go back to our 15-minute time frame. Look at that. That doji did reverse. I called it. I said that if this candle here closes, we were about 4 minutes at that point from it closing. And right now we're just under 3 minutes into the new 15-minute candle, and it opened at the center line of that doji. So that is a 15-minute reversal candle. So we should be headed back to the VWAP. Should be headed back to VWAP and beyond, I hope. And beyond, I hope. All moving averages on 15 minutes are still turning down, and they'll be turning down until they turn up. So you heard that here on my channel, that the moving averages they'll be turned down until they turn back up. And so that's how that they will work. And the way you get ahead of those is you just go down in time frames. You can even go down to 30 seconds and get an idea of your direction. Let's reset our charts. 30 seconds, we've already crossed over all moving averages. 45 seconds, all moving averages. Well, no, not true. Green has been over red, and then it's over blue. So on 45 seconds, it's not quite clean yet. 1 minute, it's not even started. Well, green over red has, and then over blue yet. 1 minute, it's actually started. Sorry, my eyes. It blended in there. Let me zoom in. This could be the start of it, but it's really choppy in there. No conviction. What looks the most promising is this doji, right? And then no conviction buyers or sellers. Buyers couldn't take it. Sellers couldn't take it. Ends where it opened and closed in the middle. But now on this 15-minute, buyers couldn't do nothing with it. Here we go. So there we go. The moving averages on the 15-minute are telling the story. RSI's curled down. Very, very thin histogram on your volume. Very thin. Couple of red candles on your 1 minute on your ASHI. Let's see what happens. And look, nonstop, lower highs. Lower high, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it looks like we're putting in a fifth 15-minute lower high. So will we get to the line I told you about earlier today? I marked out that 22,850. Everybody's watching. If we hold 22,850 and get momentum going up, that's when most people are waiting all day for their longs. And if we don't hold 22,850, we got a pretty big gap below for some shorts. And that's what we are talking about. You know, we got a pretty good short run right there at a minimum. But most people talk about this area, 22,584, stair stepping down if we don't get anybody stepping in. Not that we would ever be in that long, but you want to always know not only what the direction of the market is now, but what the potential direction of the market would be later. And so 22,850 is a key area. I'm going to take some of these off. They're distracting me. Just a quick update. Paper trading now up about 3,900, 1,000, 2,250, and 500 today. You can see the date stamps over there. And Blue, the take profit trader account, in a few trades got whipped out. Just simply got wicked out. I'll show you the candles that we got wicked out on. Got wicked out on this one right here. Took a long in here at the break. Got wicked out on that one. And then somewhere in here, I forget. I can't turn it on because it was in the TraderVid account. So you normally can go this and left click settings, come down to executions and do okay. And it'll show you all your entries and exits, but it only does that for the account that you're in. Once you leave that account, it's poof. Well, let me see. I might be able to go back and do that. Let me see. Go over here, here. See the brokers, TraderVid. All right, now let's see. Now, there they are right there. There's your entries and exits, so you can see it. Here's what we did earlier, boys and girls, watching this at a later date, I'm sure. So we had an entry right here, stomped out right there. Look at that candle. It was perfectly fine with this momentum here. That's your push candle. Next candle opened up, waited for that retracement, got in about right in here, 22,918. Rode it. Stop was below this range. Just a wick candle. That's it. Kaboom. On a 1. Just took the stop. That took a $700 loss right there. All I was waiting for was one of these pushes to take a little scalp. Waited. Tried to get an early entry in right here for a little push. Got a little greedy. Was hoping it was going to be the runner. Saw profit. Didn't take it. I saw profit. Didn't take it. I didn't see profit and take it like Don Sinclair coaches. And I did. And I had 4 contracts because when I lose on 2 in the morning, I'll double up to 4 and try to make that up. Still not tilting. Still keeping my trading rules. But the ASHI at that time was saying, you can see over there, look on your left side, you see we had good ASHI green candles moving into VWAP, and it already tried and failed once, and a lot of times on the second attempt, when everything lines up, look at your histogram. So it's total fake out for me. If I want to analyze this, yeah, Jim, you should have waited for an overshoot of VWAP and a retap, but we had a liquidity above. If you look at the heat map at the same time there, we had liquidity above. Everything you would do for a 65, 70% chance trade was lined up. Just sometimes it don't work. All I know is I would take that trade all the time. I was going green on my volume. I was green on my ASHI. I was coming off the bottom. I was on the bottom of my RSI, which means we're oversold. So it's time. We had a push candle, which means it's time to go. I got a pretty decent entry, but then we went straight sideways, capitulating. And then they decided to do a stop run. Then they got a push. So I said, all right, got a stop run. I waited for this entry. I thought, all right, this is definitely going to have to be the time we're going to have that breakout. So I tried it again. So I got faked out on this one. And then the second one is even better because we got the volume on the histogram right there. But nope, kabam. Overshoot, no continuation. The ASHI turned right around on the left side. Big red candles, kapow. And so those two trades blew the account. You can critique it all you want down in the comments. That's what this is for. But that's the trades I would have taken. And I've 100 times, one or both of those have worked. And I've made more money than most people make in a month in 9 to 5 jobs. And so that's why you just keep coming back. Can't always win. Now, while I was talking and coaching, missed that little breakdown there. Had nice volume too. 6-7 million, even I'm late to it, no more noise. So we missed the impulse part of that. This noise over here gives you the impulse part of it. And that's what you want if you're going to micro scalp, is that impulse part. We'll just wait, see if we get any continuation. Let's see, it's picking up actually. I'm inclined to take a trade here. Oh shoot, I'm glad I looked down there. Not in my Tradeovate. Got to switch back to paper. Always know where you're trading at. Trade your DOM back up. There we go. To say it right there at the top. It says Tradeovate, or if it says AMP and you're with AMP, or if it says Interactive Brokers and that's where your real cash is, make sure you know what buttons you're pushing, because the market does not care. Market will take your money. It'll chew you up like that and spit you out. Some kid in Singapore will pay his Porsche note. Yeah, so we're just in this channel. We're not really even getting to the top of the channel, fighting a lot of technical difficulties. There's no news today, so this is just in my opinion, just a normal pullback from, all-time historical lows. Give everybody a chance for the longs and swing traders to get some positions in, and then we just have to be mindful of that. So maybe we'll switch gears here, and I just do some we'll do some good impulse downward shorts. We've already lost the opening range. Those trades are done. I'm going to turn that off for the rest of the day. Turning that off. We're going to leave the linear regression up. We'll leave our moving averages up. We're going to turn off our trades. Oh, this just clouds up the chart and it takes CPU power. And now we're just going to maybe take one more, see if anything else sets up. I'm going to try to cut this off at an hour, but I will take one more run a little over. Got a niece and nephew here from Arkansas down at the Emerald Coast. They're over, I think they went to Miramar Beach. I'm supposed to bring the mixer. So you infer what you think that means. Whatever you think that means. Market makers wicked out all those stops. They sure did, Tim. They sure did. Sure did. Look at that right there, Tim. This range right there. That's where everybody on all sides is going, oh yeah, man, I'm getting in for the rest of the day, gonna get the tires for the dually. I got the motor invoice sitting right here. I'm gonna pay off the engine. Everything. That candle right there, though, look, if I'd have had my own money in, oh my God, it'd been bad. But when I'm doing my own money, you guys, it ain't like a $95 prop account that you're trying to rapidly get to $3,000 and then rapidly get another $3,000 and take your money out. Which I do advise that, because you can blow it 3 times. You lose $300. But if you blow it 3 times in one of those, you make $3,000. It's 300 to $3,000. So it's a no-brainer. Whereas you did that with your own money, obviously you lose $12,000. So when it's your own money, maybe you trade micros. It's okay, give your trades room, like what is my max loss? I want to lose a trade. If it's $100 to get $150, that's fine. Figure out your setups. Like my setup, historically looking back, when I do this based on this, and this, and I could go through all of these and write all this up, but will do you no good. You got to study what setups even mean, and then back test it yourself, and then implement it yourself and see what feels good to you. What feels good to you in the moment. What all can you look at? Can you look at one indicator? If that's all you look at, that's fine. I can look at one indicator. All right, what's the best damn setup for one indicator? And then that one indicator, how much does it oscillate during a trade before it goes to the desired direction, right? And then always be with the market. So the first indicator that you're going to ever have is be with the market. Like today, I did all longs. Was I with the market? No. Was it a mistake? Yes. All right. The second indicator you could have on the chart would be the VWAP. If you're below the VWAP, you're looking for what? Shorts. Okay. I didn't take any shorts. So that's mistake number 2. Now, I could drill in there, though, into the 1 minute and say that within the 1 minute using other indicators, it was going up. But still, I violated some indicators and I validated other indicators. What that means, this. And what is that? That's chop. And what does that mean? You sit on your hands. If you was trading your own money, you sit on your hands. You don't take these many risks if it's your own money. Like right now on a prop account, look at the bottom of that linear regression line, Tim. Tell me that it doesn't work. Look at the bottom, right? And look at the ASHI. Every time it's hit the bottom, we've gone green. And I don't think it's going to break through, but because we're in a downtrend today. But I do think if it does break through, see that this is a lower high area, much lower high area. I anticipate if this is going to be still wave-like, we'll do another lower high area. But if this one does that breakout, what you'll have is a lot of people assuming it's the breakout. And so you would jump in there for your scalp and get out of the way in case it's a fake out. This one's looking more powerful. You also can look at the steepness of the moves and look how steep this move is, right? Look at the steepness of that move compared to the steepness of these other moves. That's the visual video game stuff that I kind of watch. These other moves, if you look at the angle finder, if you think about angles, this is a very strong move. Even if you didn't have the volume sounds going right now, volume's kicking butt. Should have took that trade, but I don't mind talking about it. I don't have skin in the game. I'm just on my paper account. Again, the paper account is up $3,900, just a couple of trades. This one might be the one. We're breaking the top of the line. This might be the one everybody's been waiting on all morning. We're already above my entry. So if you'd have been in your own cash and you'd have been trading micros and you'd had a $250 or $500 stop loss and you were waiting on that bounce for some technical levels, this was it. You just now made your money. Many different ways to look at it. It all goes back to what the good coaches like Matt Colbert, even Pat Whelan, I say even, I didn't mean to say it that way, but the good coaches, Pat Whelan and Matt Colbert, Trades with Matt, Mike Schwartz, all those guys. It's risk management. Sometimes, paper trading is hard to learn risk management because you have I don't care attitude and you can make yourself right just about all the time. And then prop trading, unless you are buying straight to funded accounts for $500 or $600, which you shouldn't do in the beginning. Look, we're ripping. Here comes the VWAP being taken. Let's do some trades real quick. Let's see what we got. Now we will be FOMO. Remember? FOMO. Fear of missing out. Can't add to it, but this is just a 1 minute scale. Let's see what we got on a 5. It's got one good break of structure on the 5. So this 5 minute candle is breaking structure. Let's let this 5 minute candle pull back. I'd like to get an order in about 50% of that candle. So what we'll do is we'll go to about right here and we'll do an add. I'm going to buy 50 contracts. So there we are. If we get a pullback to this region, which is basically a little fib retracement, I guessed at it pretty good, huh, chat? So if we get, just want to move you right there. And I put mine actually not all the way 50. And I'm okay with that. I'd like it to pull back to about right in there on that push candle. That'd be a good entry. Then I'm not chasing it. I'm not FOMO, right? I'm waiting for that. I missed the impulse candle, which I use the Geiger counter, the sound coupled with the advance and decline scale, the graph, right? The bar graph. That's what I use. I hear, I look, pick direction, confirm my chart, quick scalp. All right. But if I've missed that, I do never FOMO, because as soon as you get in, it's going to go against you every single time. Had a little bit of that yesterday, twice. So you just don't do that. And if it pulls back here, we still haven't broke the VWAP now. The VWAP is powerful. We still haven't broke the VWAP. Look at that. The VWAP changed itself. What in the world? Oh, I went down to a 5. Let's go to the 1 minute. Ooh, I was just fixing to say, what in the world happened? On the 1 minute, it's the first opening candle above the VWAP all day. All right, we got some momentum now. Let's just go ahead and see what we got. We're going to take the break of the VWAP. We're going to remove a drawing. We're in this for a quick scalp. Let's see what we got. I'm going to add. I only got 50, so I could add on a pullback. I'm not going to add. I'm going to try to take out another 1,000 or so. There it is. Okay, quick little scalp. I think my slippage got me. No, I got the 1,000. So we're good. Another 1,000 added, boys. Little VWAP action. Works all the time if you get a good entry. Now listen, that was a heck of a run on the Ashi. Clean, no bottom tails. But I was scared to take it because I tried to take it here. This is what I was hoping for right here. Look how far that magnet of a VWAP run. And this is what I'm saying. If you was on your own money, you would, let's say you try to trade 5 times today, and you got 5 times $250 losers, and then you're going to call it quits. Well, you'd have lost your 250 here. You'd have lost your 250 here. There hadn't been another VWAP break trade. You might not have taken it here, right? Or you might have taken it here because the IC candles told you. But this run here would have made up both of your losses and made your whole week. Made your whole week. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying you're watching it with me, calling it in real time with multiple different indicators. You're seeing the histogram in real time. You're seeing the setup start to form. And let's just go through the ICs. These bottom wicks on these candles means it was indecisive. I probably should have just got out. I knew that. These 2 candles look promising. This green candle, I should have got out, but I didn't. I was greedy, right? But look at these clean candles. These candles I should have gotten earlier. It coincided. I called that break of structure. That break of structure, you could have just put on a small amount, and waited. You never came back. Look, it never made a new lower low. I mean, you've never made a lower low. A low, a higher low, 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 higher low. This is the first lower low. So if you're going to just use that visual scale, you could have trailed your stop loss up, never invalidated the previous candle all the way to here. So if a break of structure would have been at 864, so your entry could have been the opening of the next candle, right? The next candle's opening was 859. The first break of structure on the first lower low, 917. Do the math. That's a month of income for most people. A month of income for most people. Not having to bet a lot either. Not having to bet a lot. That's what I'm trying to catch every day. Sometimes it don't work out. Like in pre-market, look at these moves. Look at these moves in pre-market. Never invalidate it. Invalidate means you're in a trade, right? With respect to these higher lows. You're in a trade. And let's say you buy a trade and you give yourself 1 candle. So you look at your previous candle, you know how big it is, you set how you buy based on that to make sure, like, I can only lose 250 per trade, and I'm gonna put that on the table 5 times today, or 4 times today, or 3 times today, whatever it is that you want to do. Some people take 2 trades a day. I got a friend that takes 2 trades a week. It's got 900 indicators, and he rarely ever loses, and he bets really, really big, and that's fine too. It's got to be your style. But if you find these runs where once you in and you get into the money and the next candle's low never exceeds the previous candle's low, then you always could move your stop up. I do it visually, but you certainly can move your physical stop up to the previous candle and keep trailing that stop to the previous candle. And you just sitting here hoping, okay, I'm in the money, don't hit it. And when the next candle closes, you move your stop to that candle. It would never have been invalidated. Each one of those stop losses has held until right here. So that's a heck of a run. Again, your entry would have been about right here. Let's call it 860, 860, okay? to right there, minus 916. So 916 minus 860 equals 56 points. 926 and ironically 926 a.m. to 936 in 10 minutes. Tell you what you would have made. Times 20 times 4. That's $4,480 for 10 minutes of work, right? With a $500 investment. And that's why I'm saying you don't worry about when you have these losses, because when you catch the runner that you're trying to catch, which does repeat itself every day several times, you just got to go back to what I started with at the top. You got to control your risk. Hit 70 on what? On TQQs? Let's take a peek at it, Tim. And why not do that for? I'm going to do it on my main chart. NQ. All right, let's see here. 940 should be done streaming. I don't want to buy any. So to clear all your orders right here in the middle of this DOM on TradingView, you just hit CXL all. That clears everything. It's important you do that too. And that's just for this stock. Make sure that if you're bouncing around from chart to chart and put in some orders, make sure that you do that for every chart you're in, or they will stay in force globally. Check your settings at all times. Nice little run there. Pulled out some money. Wish we would have got it. Had a little more confidence. These breaker structures is always a good play to take. Breaker structures a good play to take. Good play to take. Either one of those ones we lost on earlier could have worked. Just like the ones that we won on in the paper count. These last 2 days I've been kicking ass in the paper count. I hadn't been able to put anything else together. I think I'm going to go back and look at my journal. Probably needed to wait. Maybe need to wait an hour. Maybe let that 930 candle put in. Let me look at the hour chart, see what happened today. Might need to wait for that hour candle to be put in. There's the hour candle. 8:30, 9:30. Why is it showing like that? We should be on another hour candle right now. That don't look right, does it, y'all? Yeah, we should be working on our second hour candle, and it's only showing one. Sometimes you see these charts, and if you hadn't been doing it for a while, you're like, what's going on? You wouldn't even know. But like, look at this. I'm gonna click the 1 hour chart. This is a problem here. 1 hour chart, right? Yes. The ashy candles are the bomb, Tim. Absolute bomb. They even get more powerful, Tim, for swing trading. If you set it to the 1 hour chart and just trust it and use your RSI with it, VWAP, RSI, and the ashy candles, if you're going to keep stuff overnight. I got to give you this ladies that I follow who that's all they do is multi-day trading and they own the stocks. She knocks it out of the park, and that's what she uses. That's who taught me, from watching her videos. Ashy, she only drills down into 15-minute charts to find entry points and then loads up. Loads up. It's got to be patient and wait. So we're fixing to start doing, buddy. We're going to talk about a lot of that when you come to the beach. So I want to do some big plays. I want to do some big plays. We're still in that, so everybody knows, maybe you and I haven't even talked about it. We're still in that sell in May and go away. All the big players in the Hamptons. And so this is still sell in May and go away. I want to have a clear strategy for when they all come back and have to make their bones. And that's when we should see the real action. That's historically how it is. We sold in May, they went away. We're in this summer market. Doesn't mean we can't make some scratch, but that is the facts of life in trading, especially in the investment side, which we need to do some more underlying stuff. And you got a lot of cash to deploy. We want to make sure we do that after the sell in May and go away, and we concur on all of our indicators, and that you've been learning and I've been learning, and we've collectively been improving upon. And then also we want to back test it, like look back. What if we had done this last year, same time preview that year, and what were the conditions then? Blah blah blah. 1 hour candles hellacious. Look at that. total rejection. But at the end of the day, it's still right in the middle of that range. Everybody's like, the market's it's completely crashing. No, we're just very minor pullback from the all-time highs. Very minor, like a lower high, lower high, lower high, pretty orderly on a 1 hour, right into the regression channel, center of the VWAP. So sometimes traders get caught up on these kind of a moves intraday on small time frames. And what I do is I go up. That's on the 30. If you look at a 1 hour chart, there it populated correctly there. Look at a 1 hour chart because of the time. Let's get the 4 hour chart. 4 hour chart, just, like what is there to be scared of? We had a pullback here, July, the 2nd, right in there. All-time highs with a nice big 4 hour push. And now a little pullback. Not a big deal. We probably need to come down here and take away these wicks on the 4 hour. And that's where that 22.8 right in there, 22.850 right in there. We literally probably need to pull back in that range, 22.720. If we can pull back into about right, the top of those wicks, like 22.775, we will never get there. We might get there on some crazy news, like war type news. But you got a lot of bottom tails here, a lot of topping tails here, in here, and I'm talking about for a long. So basically, the bottom of this linear regression on the 4 hour would be a place that we could safely deploy some big numbers and buy. Let's see. What is Tesla doing today? Tesla bounced back. I left money on the table on that option, but I just got tired of having to watch that effing news, man. Pissed me off badly. And yet you said it right. Ain't a lot of money. I agree. Ain't a lot of money. But I am tired of watching that. It's distracting my whole trading operation. Worried about that little options play. Hindsight, I wish I was accumulating it at 10. I wish I had 1,000 shares at 10 or at 9.95. That's what I wish I had, because I'd rather be sitting here selling options against it. Yeah, when my mental starts getting messed up and I'm having to focus too much on news and I'm not finding us other plays, I throw in the towel, man. I was thinking about rolling it, even though we got 2 weeks, but I know how that I am. I was ready to cut bait. You don't ever let me influence you on that stuff. You do what you got to do, or what you feel good to do. And not a whole hill of beans. That's why I'm worried about it. Now, if I had the underlying, I wouldn't do anything but sell options against it. And I wish that's what I had. I'd rather have just had 100 shares at $10. I wouldn't have to watch it so much with that expiration. And then you saying, let's sell it at 99 cents. We would have dumped it there, would have been at a loss, but we would have saved the losses. But how do you know? How do we know he's going to form a political party over the weekend? Literally, how in the world would you know that one? Talk about a left field play, right? A left field play. And it bounced back. So obviously smarter than the rest of us. It's still $16 below where it was, but above 300 is the magic number. I made a TikTok about it. You should have seen the weirdos, the trolls come out of the woodwork on it. All right, I don't see anything, but let's drop back down to a 1 minute. We got no volume. It is 9:48. Guess I'm just going to have to stream each day because the whole session, which means until 10, unless I'm in a trade at 10. And that way it's consistent, an hour and a half. Calling it right now. Let's reset the chart. Let's get in there. Oh, that's still on a 4 hour. I want a 1 minute. Over here, I want a 3 minute. Yes, we had an overshoot of the VWAP, but you know what? It ain't really done much, has it? It overshot. Only 933. Breached it at 9:45. So we got a 12 minutes above the VWAP. And here comes Willie. Here comes Willie. Let's go ahead and sell it. Don't we take the breach of the VWAP? That's what we do, right? Breach of the VWAP. Let's see what happens. Might regret it, but it just been wicking around here. I got a bad entry, I think. Got a little tail there. Just going to try to take a little one here. It's a little one here. There we go. All right, so we took that break of the VWAP for a quick scalp. Works almost every time. Bookham Dano, $1,250. Up $6,000 on the day in the paper account. Just doing tried and true VWAP plays. Break of structure plays. Very short in and out scalping. Just like that. Bookham Dano. Whatever your 80s TV youthisms are, you can insert them here. Some people would have done it right there. I like to see the body break up, pull back long, body break down, pull back short. And that's fighter pallet stuff. I don't recommend that setup for the weak-minded. I recommend studying these setups where you can go 4 micros. You get yourself into the money a good bit and you take 2 micros off. You can trail your other 2 micros up. You can look all this stuff up. You can type what I'm saying into an AI and then type what that AI tells you into another AI, and don't say it came from AI. Act like it's you. And then type that into another AI and then take everything they say and come up with a setup. Then go backwards and look at it and see if it works and what the probability is. And then sit there and trade paper and practice and wait all day until 1 or 2 times it shows up until you can spot it meticulously. Every single time, you know it's there. It's in front of you. It's like, that is a yellow Volkswagen. If you look out your window and you think your neighbor's white F-150, okay, is a white Volkswagen 1978, then you're not ready to sell cars yet, right? So you got to be able to call these setups as they are, as you have learned, and then on paper, meaning as you study what they look like and why they work and the dynamics of them without getting too much in the weeds. Then you got to be able to watch the charts in real time and be able to see them. That's that kind of setup. This is that kind of setup. That's that kind of setup. Then you got to decide the ones that are very high probability, which means you could bet more money, and the ones of very low probability that you just want to put a little bit of money. And so then you got to be able to do that in real time without hesitation. Then you got to be able to do it in real time without hesitation with prop firm money. Then you need to do it in real time without hesitation with your own money. And it is daunting because a lot of people jump right to their own money because they want to make the mortgage payment. So there was another break of structure right there. We could have taken that, but I've been talking. This is a wave. It should just come right down to the bottom of this channel, right? All we did was make maybe we made a big maybe this is a short sell rally. I don't know. People smarter than me have things that they can look at to know who is doing this buying, and that buying could have just been a short term rally. But here we go. Let's see if we catch more support. Now listen, on the 1 minute, this bottom of this linear regression has been support. I'm not going to FOMO. Remember, we talked about it earlier. A lot of people are jumping in here, selling, and that will make the candle be an impulse candle. We still got a lot of volume here. 8 to 7 million, 8 to 7, 8 to 7. It's on the screen, 8 to 7, 8 to 7 million, 12 to 9, 14 to 11. So it is momentum here. We got a bunch of sellers coming in. The boys are going to lunch. Time to go get a bagel and lox up there in New York. Getting a bagel and lox. Look at that tap of the bottom of that linear regression line. The LG, right? The LG. It's really LR, huh? I like saying LG. Throws y'all off. It's the LR. The LR has held right to it as well. Boy, those calculations are stellar. Calculating in real time right there. See it? I don't know what it means, but it looks cool. Look how slick that looks. Slick. All the momentum's gone. That impulse candle right there and make people fortunes that catch it. Like you catch that with $10,000, oh, you may be paying off your mortgage in that candle right there. If you got your own money, throwing 10 grand at it at that break of structure, right? And you go in, like you can set up your automatic entries where you have your stop loss already comes in. So you can put your stop loss above VWAP, right? Throw $10,000 on it, have $30,000 for your stop loss. Yes, you're risking a bunch of money, but you want to make some money or not? And then you happen to catch one of these on that impulse of these indicators, and you let that rascal go until you have a reversal, never even close getting to your stop loss at all. You pull out $150,000 or so. You do the math. I'm just give you the numbers here on screen. Break a structure with momentum. Never look back at 22895. The first time it turned back on you, you would have gotten 22860. 895-860. Actually, less than that. 895-855. Big move. Look how fast we negated that upwards run. Remember, I drew that line earlier to show you how powerful and steep that was. And that's how I knew it was going to run past VWAP. These other ones, these weak ones I lost my money on earlier. Now, in my memory, I'm saying I'm never going to do this because they just look not powerful. Looking back now is hindsight, right? But I should have known. And now you guys should know. Look how steep this downturn is here. The angle of that suggests that it's falling. It's like you throw a set of keys toward a guy, right? He could catch it. Well, if you drop a set of keys off the side of a building, he's not going to stick his hand out. The VWAP line could be the hand. If you throw a set of keys up toward the ceiling, it's going to skip off of it like skipping a rock across a lake. That's what happened in here. That's what VWAP does. But if you drop a set of keys straight down, it's going to go through the water first before it floats. That's what happens here. It's same here. You take a cork and hold it underwater, it's going to overshoot. That cork will overshoot the surface of that water, overshoot, come back down. The reason people say, I want it to come back and test. Think of a cork in water. You take a cork below the surface of the water, you release it. It shoots past and through the water line. It comes back down. If it has enough buoyancy, it'll bounce. It might go in the water a little bit. It'll bounce for a little bit, and then it'll float. And then if it has a catalyst, right? What's the catalyst? The guy fishing doesn't get a bite, and he pulls it, and it pulls it up into the air. Those are called buyers. And when the buyers come in and they want that to go, then it just does one of those. And that's what you're looking for above the VWAP. Damn, I'm pretty good, huh, Tim? It's going to be great stuff, man. All right, Cronus. Almost done, buddy. We're going to wrap this up in about 3 minutes. Poke holes in the chat. I'm not sure I'll ever read it, because this is going to be some of that recording stuff just to build this channel. Probably went live way early. I don't know how to work all the buttons yet. Certainly didn't come out of the box with some winning trades, but I know it came out of the box with some winning ideas that would work. I didn't take all of them in the prop account, but I certainly did in the paper account. We'll see where we can get this paper account to the week. I reset this every Monday, and what I do, whether I'm filming it or not, here it comes off the bottom. Let's don't talk. Let's see if this is going to be a trade. Had a sell-off. There's a break of the structure. There's no momentum. Almost 11 o'clock Eastern, and there's no momentum. We got a little bit advancers winning here, just a little bit. I'm going to wait for the noise. I don't like no trickle up plays. This may trickle all the way up, and that's fine. Not my cup of tea. Turning down on RSI. The ASHI is not favorable on a 3 minute, 1 minute. We're all getting some 1 minute momentum, no bottom wick. We're all getting a darker red on the histogram, which means that the sellers are declining, which we could see that confirmation over here on the heat map. But it's not any impulse yet. So that means it could easily fade. No impulse yet. put this thing on the 1 minute. Closing this candle out in 5 seconds. Let's see where our next candle opens. Iceberg sellers. Oh, 29 contracts just popped in there. 29 contracts just popped in there. Let's just wait and see what we got here. Not enough for me. 5 to 4, 5 to 4, 4 to 4, 4 to 4. Not enough momentum for me. Not enough momentum for me. This looks like one of them VWAP rejections, Timmy. VWAP rejections. It is trickling. They're trying. It's interesting to hear the alarm when the... Well, look at this. We've got a block there below us. That's interesting. We should be taking off here in a second. Look at these waves in this channel. That's what I was worried about. The old VWAP projection. It's actually stalling right there at the 21 period moving average. The blue line is a 21 period moving average. The green is 5, red is 10, blue is 21. These outer bands is called linear regression. It's a free indicator. Works really well in these ranges, doing this range trading. Yellow thicker line is the VWAP. The VWAP right there. Volume weighted average price. It's taking the volume, the price, averaging them together. Very powerful indicator. All these are just indicators. Everything can happen. You can make a living with these overshoots. That's an overshoot. You can overshoot, hit the top of the linear regression, short, sell. You know, many different strategies that could be studied. Or you can just learn 2 solid setups that are around 70%. Do like this all day and wait for them to come. If they don't come back the next day. Pull your money out of the market. We have had 2 losing days in these prop accounts. So we got to just continue to do the exact same thing and let the law of averages work itself out. That's all you got to do. You do the exact same thing and let the law of averages work itself out. All right, we're over on the stream. I'm going to call it a day. Let's look at the paper count. Just to recap, we hit a hard. We basically blew our take profit trader account in 3 trades. 3 great setups, but we got wicked out. Probably that we were using too big of trades. And started out with 2, went to 4. So I only did 2 trades. Started out with 2. Went to 4, not on tilt. That's just how I do it. But then I try to wait for a solid setup. Next setup I thought was solid. The market did not think it was solid. So blew that one. So that's a $95 real cash loss today. And then we got on the paper account, put $6,000 on the paper account. We'll see how we finish that up on the week before we reset it. Just basically been in a real tight range. You know, look at this little wave. There's the open. Just really nothing. Below the VWAP. Consolidated. I took a stab at it right here, failed, took a loss. Took another stab at it right here. VWAP failed, took a loss. I was out. Did some shorts in here. Did a long here in the paper count, had a run. Long here in the paper count, had a run. The VWAP break here in the paper count had a run. And that's how I got no losses in the paper count. So we got those wins. And some of those were staged out. Doing 100 lots and 50 lots for short scalps. And you could just consider that to be, 10 and 5s, micros, whatever, and then adjust the dollar amounts down. Still wins, still trades working in real time. Called out a bunch of trades. So if you want to grab my transcript and then paste and copy my transcript into your favorite AI and tell them put out actionable trades, and then analyze what I've said and how I coached, and then ask AI to compare that to other people's setups, and it'll poke holes in it for you. And then way too much chop, Tim. Way too much chop. Look at that. We're just range bound, slightly downtrend, not that drastic, but way too much chop. This is the only run. This run here, this bell, right? This bell was the only nice runs, and even that down run was ugly. But that run right there was clean with respect to these. The ASHI was clean, no bottom wicks, which means no candles until right there put in a higher low. I mean, a lower low. So right there, that was the first invalidation. So your stops would have just been just fine all the way. That was a nice clean run. That's literally, I should have waited all day. You can't. How do you know? Well, one way you know is, Jim, why are you trading that big in the middle of everything and below the VWAP? So that's all that needs to be said. I traded all that right there. If I was on my own money, I would never have done that. Taking this trade at the bottom in a break of structure and riding a little with a very small amount, and then adding a little bit once the green over red, so 5/10, maybe adding a little bit. That's a great play. Adding a little bit, crossing the middle line, since it's been a nice resistance too. This is a great run in a lot of ways to capitalize on that right there. Could have been done for the day. This one's nasty. Look at it. What are you going to do? You can't. It's hard to trade that unless you're really, really small size, and you're not trading anything but something like that. You're just saying, I got a trend line, and I'm going to stick with this trend line until I get a big impulse candle down that stops me out. Scary stuff, though. Scary stuff. I like this. And when the guys come back after summer, you'll see you'll see this wave here 3 or 4 times a day, and they'll look more. If we're in a true uptrend, they'll just be like this all day. And then we'll have a down candle day, and we'll just be out of the way on that. That's why we watch the rocket scooter for resilience. Like look at the S&P. I hadn't been over here in a minute. Resilience 16, and resilience on NASDAQ minus 16 and minus 32. So bad chop, which we just experienced. All right, I'm gonna call it a day. I got my beach shirt on, got my beach hat on. They're waiting on me for reals. I got to bring the ice. They took everything that's in the house, but I got to bring a couple bags of ice. I got to see if I can't find us some trades. I'll do that with my cell phone at the beach. And yeah, let me do that, and I will see you. Peace out.